Good.
Okay, so good morning, guys. My name is Sucely. My topic is Guatemalan culture. So, Guatemala is the country of eternal spring. Guatemala is a multicultural country where you can go someplace and find something beautiful, and if you go to another place, you will find out something completely different. Why? Because this is our country. Being multicultural makes us special and different from other countries. But we have been forgetting how important it is. You know what is something interesting? Uh, Guatemala is considered with a extraordinary multicultural wealth. So this is not something that has been disappearing several years ago. I would like to emphasize in 2 points which I consider them essential. The first one, why we are changing our culture, and the second one, how to appreciate what has been lost. Okay, why we are changing our culture. Guatemala has changed a lot. As I told you, we are changing different things. For example, how many of you remember when we played with mud and we made pots and vases and other things? Now children don't know anything about it. Technology has come to our country, and children don't want to play with their neighbors anymore. Technology is something good, but we are not taking advantage of this. We are wasting our time. So when a tradition is coming, young people don't like make anything to celebrate it. Our grandparents keep some traditions, but our parents not. I mean, for our parents, it is easier for them to give their children a cell phone than play with them, and it is the same thing with our Guatemala. We are the parents from our Guatemala, and the only thing that we want to do is making money without enjoy our culture, our traditions, our people, our landscapes, and um, our places. As Guatemalans, we are losing our identity. There are a lot of young people who don't like their Mayan origin. Um, we have we have to appreciate this. Do you know other country where their people wear traditional clothes every day, every year, or just because? Well, our Guatemalan women wear this kind of clothes, and it is not a reason to be ashamed. Or a country where 22 Mayan language are spoken and are not included Xinca, Garifuna, and Castellan. We are underestimating the capacity of our people, and we are settling for things which we have. So we are changing, but we are losing our identity. So let me tell you one experience which I had. I met a couple who had a child. Their child grew up, but now he wanted to get married. His parents were not sure if their if their daughter-in-law would like some people like them in their family. They were ashamed about their Mayan origin. So this is because we haven't taught them how important they are, and we are ashamed to be who we are, and this is wrong. However, our culture is something wonderful that other country doesn't have. And this is my second point, how to appreciate what has been lost. Okay. Um, there are mistakes which schools make here in Guatemala. They teach children that Mayas were wild, and it makes children ashamed about their origin. So I'm going to tell you how we can change this. We have to teach them how important was their origin. If Mayas didn't exist, we wouldn't be the Guatemala with a lot of culture and we will then call a multicultural country. Did you know that there is a word which defines our Spanish? Well, the word is Guatemaltequismo. The Royal Academy of Spanish language says that this word was created to define our Spanish, for example, like chulo, patojo, etc. And this is something amazing. We have to appreciate our country because there is not other country like our country. We have taught our children that here there are less possibilities of growing up, but we just to find out our importance and we can do something different for our culture. So lastly, I would like to tell you that we must not to be ashamed. As Guatemalans, we have a lot of things to offer and we don't have to lose our culture, which is important. Who knows, probably the next generation can enjoy our culture too, but only we keep it. If there are foreigners who love our country, why we don't love our Guatemala if we are sons and daughters from Guatemala? So why don't love it? So this is everything. Thank you for listening. And now we are going to listen my partner, Freddy.
Thank you, Susie. Today I'm going to talk to you about issues of our culture. In Guatemala, there are so many different people, diversity of human beings with very different stories, but our relations have been very unequal, difficult, and painful. If you see our history, Guatemala is the product of a colonization, which created racism and discrimination. Some people live diversity like something uncomfortable. There are people who deny that there is this diversity in our country. Some people think that they are superior just because the color of their skin or because they have more money. Whatever is the case, this is not correct. We have to stop thinking like if there wasn't diversity in our country. Sometimes with our behavior, our actions, and our thoughts, we can hurt people who are different. Sometimes we hurt them even with our words. In the past, there had been ways to treat people who were different in a very disrespectful way. When Spanish people came, they treated like savages to original people from here. They killed them, they stole their lands, and they turned them into slaves. They forbade their beliefs and their spiritual practices. They told them that they were uncivilized. Now we know that wasn't true. They were a great civilization. But who were them? Who are they? They are the descendants of the Mayan civilization. Our history has in its own a really awful and unfair situations. Our grandparents and our parents probably learned that kind of thinking was correct, but it's not. I will talk about mean expressions from our culture, then about the origins of Guatemalan society, and last, the racism that Guatemalan society must face nowadays. There are many mean expressions in our culture. Have you heard some? Of course, yes. I remember someone saying something like, if my cousin marries that blonde woman, she will improve his race. This is a common phrase, and there are people who say that yet. I remember a case in school. The education ministry made schools to teach a Mayan language, but there are very few teachers who teach those languages. So in this school, they asked to the woman who cleaned to teach the Mayan language. The result was that so many family parents were outraged. They said that how was it possible that a janitress was going to teach their children? This kind of thing of thoughts are absolutely wrong. and we should eradicate them from our culture and from our society. This brings me to my second point, the origins of Guatemalan people. In my own experience, I can tell that I'm the result of the mixture of many cultures and very different DNAs. I'm what we call half blood. I'm part French, Spanish, and Mayan. My great great grandfather was French. He had a son, my great grandfather, and she married an original woman in Caban. My paternal grandmother was a Spanish descendant. I'm proud of all my origins, and I don't feel less or more because of them. There are people who deny their Mayan origins because they feel ashamed of them. This is just unacceptable. We have to be proud of our origins. Some people say phrases like, I'm not an Indian. This expression is very pejorative. It has a disrespectful meaning, and the worst, it's racist. Another pejorative expression is folkloric. Some people uses the term folkloric to refer to some cultural practices, like dances, music, rites, even for clothing. But the reality is that folkloric is a pejorative word, which underestimates the real value of our culture. A better term to refer to cultural practices is original, like original dances, original food, original music. There is a really bad problem here in Guatemala if we talk about racism. Today, many Mayan communities demand respect because they have their own ways to see the world and life. They know their knowledge from past and present. They demand respect for nature and they want their rights to be respected as well. In Guatemala, there are very different people with very different origins. We must change these issues from our culture because they are not correct. Each person is a world, has its own thoughts, and each person has its own talents, skill, and knowledge. Everyone is able to learn, but the most important thing, everyone deserves respect. Now we listen
Okay,
again
guys.
to Susie.
Yes, thank you, Pralik. Wait a moment, please. Okay. All of you can see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
So, okay. Thank you. So, guys, we are living in a racist society which underestimates our Guatemalans and our origin. It's supposed that we have to support our singles. What we are saying is that it doesn't matter their origin, they are important too. We have a great story, amazing culture, nice people, and other things to appreciate. So why we don't love ourselves? We have to love our Guatemala, our culture, like a child loves his mother. So this is everything, guys, and thank you for listening us.
Nice talk, guys.
Thanks for your attention, guys. Now we pass to the comments and questions section.
I think it is very important to feel well in whatever part of the world because it doesn't matter what is your culture, all the cultures are very rich. Even the Mayan cultures are very rich, has a great history. And if you start to read a book, you will find a rich history. And I think the person who is racist with Mayan cultures, that kind of people have to open a book.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Because some even ourselves, Guatemalan people, we don't know our own culture. Like um, we don't know about Mayan music, Mayan literature. There are a lot of good quantity of books there out there, and it's really amazing how rich and how much wealth our culture has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else?
So I was thinking, and this is a question comment, half and half. So how much influence do you think mass media has upon the average Guatemalan and his normalization of being racist, of rejecting our Mayan origins and our mestizo origins, and not really looking at what is there, right? But instead of that, adopting the movie fantasies, and we kind of like think we are different than what we are physically. So, do you think the mass media really has an effect on us in that way?
Yes,
Well,
of course.
yes, definitely yes. And
Okay.
it's something really a little bit tricky, because if you see national television, you will see that, for example, on channels 3, 7, 11, and 13, uh, the most things you'll see are if, the news, sometimes novels, um, and sometimes those novels are not precisely about common people. Sometimes novels are just about the life of wealth people, sometimes, or like the middle class, the middle high class, sometimes. And it's not like and there you can see like a little bit of the effect of social of mass media on people, and because you're not going to see like the common life, or like the life of ordinary people in there, and it's something which is not right. So definitely it has an effect.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what do you think would be mm, the uh, how can we diminish the influence of mass media on young people? What would be the antidote to that?
Hmm.
Good question. A good question.
I would say that by knowledge, if people know about their origins, about our past, about our history, for example, there are a lot of information on libraries and books on the internet about archaeological sites, about we have to learn about our history. Um, a good way. I remember oh my God, I think we lost. I know there is. Um, I remember I heard once a great way to avoid making same mistakes is knowing the mistakes which were made in the past. And I think it's completely true. If we know about we have to visit archaeological sites. We have to visit Guatemala. Is really, really rich in the, and we can know and we can learn, and we can learn from people also, just by talking or just by now we are in a really, really lucky time, you know, because we have social media, we have internet, so we can communicate between ourselves and while by internet. And this tool, it's a really useful tool to learn.
Yes, I think that we have to teach the since they are in the school, in the middle school, and this is important, you know, that they know what was our history about Mayan culture, because if we teach them of this way, they can grow up and they will have another perspective what or how Mayans were, you know.
I'm really glad, if I may say something. Good morning, everyone. I'm really glad that young people like you are talking about these topics, because it is, I mean, we should like cherish, or I don't know how to say it, value, maybe give some value to our culture, to our past, to the past of our country. There are so many ways in which Guatemalans have been ashamed of our past, or they haven't given the right value or the right importance, I don't know, to our culture and our past. I remember when they were building this place, I don't know if it was Peri Roosevelt or Miraflores, one of those places. I had a co-worker who was studying archaeology. I don't know if you remember her, Eduardo. It was Stephanie.
Yes, I remember her.
Okay, so she was studying archaeology, and part of one of the classes that she was taking is that they were studying some stuff. I don't know how to say it. Some archaeologist stuff, like pieces. I don't know, glasses or plates, dishes, I don't know, pots that they found there in that site, in that place. And they were studying it before the place was destroyed in order to build this place. So it is incredible, because they were they were conscious, they knew that what they were doing. But of course, like, money was more important than history, right? So it is a shame to learn about these things. It is a shame to see that in our books there is very little knowledge for our kids, very little information or none, and some of it is not even true, what they teach at school. And also, we don't know about people who are trying to show us the culture. Like, for example, Sara Kurucic, who's a singer, and she's like a great person and great singer. And she tries to teach us through her songs, but she's not very known in Guatemala. I think she has more audience outside of Guatemala than inside of Guatemala. So there are a lot of things that we can do. So it's very, very nice and very important that young people like you are waking up and making us wake up about this kind of topic. So congratulations. It is very interesting. I wasn't able to hear it all because I had some problems that I had to solve, but I was trying to be as present as I could. And I really congratulate you guys that you are doing this kind of research, this kind of information. You are giving us this kind of information. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Berta.
Thank you very much, Ms. Berta.
Okay, and I believe you guys, if you have no idea of what to do with your life, I think you should consider art. because the only way that Guatemala will change is through its artists. An artist will interpret the everyday culture and provide or give a new perspective to the people around them. And what we need is a new perspective, okay? Because
Yes.
we're just consuming the mass media from other countries, and we're not producing any cultural intelligence, right? So we're pretty much like Susie was saying, things are disappearing for us. So soon enough, we'll be talking like Mexicans, the Spanish that we speak, we'll be talking in English, you know. So being a Guatemalteco would be a lost long memory, you know. So you know, if you don't know what to do with your life, consider art. You will not get money, but you will be smart.
Yeah, you won't have much money, definitely. And
You will,
please, 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 please try to have a lot of, I don't know how to say this, but this guy that was named the most influenced, no, the what is it? The guy with more influence through his lyrics. What, I don't know what his name is. He's a rapper, Bad
but
Bunny, or I don't know what. I mean, you read his songs and they say nothing. I mean, please, if you're going to do art, please,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
going to dedicate yourselves or your lives to art, please try to
Yeah, but
do
that's not it.
something nice. Okay, please.
I read a meme today, you guys. Excuse the bad word, but it is the news, right? That Bad Bunny is the singer or the writer of the year, and in Spanish it said, yeah, para un año tan mierda como este es el cantante del año, ¿no?
Yeah.
Yeah, precisely, teacher Eduardo and Miss Berta. And remember that we are the product of of a colony, a colonialish. We are the product of a colonization. So and now there are new ways of colonization which are trying to eradicate a culture by with another culture, with things from another culture. And that's why it's really, really important for us to make our own products and to consume our own art and our own things.
Good job.
Perfect. And
Yes, definitely.
someone else, a comment or a question? If not, I think we are to 4 minutes to end the Zoom meeting. So please, I don't know if you, Miss Berta, would you like to take a picture or something?
I got the picture.
Yes, but if teacher Eduardo has, the thing is that I'm not using my computer, so the only picture that I see right now is teacher Eduardo. So, I mean, he's nice, but this is not what I
But
need. So
not
if
that.
teacher Eduardo is using his computer, maybe he could take the picture and send it to me, please.
Okay. All right. So I'll do that. If you want to uncover your faces, so I can see that you're not robots. Okay. All right. So, okay. Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your attention, guys, and teacher Sim.
Thank you very much for your attention, guys, and enjoy the last minutes of free time. So
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
we finish, and that's it. Bye, guys. Thank you very much.